We would all like to have less expense in our lives, right? We look for sales, clip coupons, and shop for the best prices. Merchants entice us with 20% off and better deals than their competitors. Our culture is awash with ways to get things for less money and to help us think of ourselves as smart shoppers. Logic tells me that if spending less money is good, then spending zero money would be wonderful. Yet, when I talk to people about getting rid of money altogether, I'm given lots of reasons why that's not such a good idea. Here are some of the more frequent responses. You mean barter? No, I don't mean barter. Although barter may very well be a stepping stone to the non-monetary system that I imagine, it is no more than a variation on the existing system of trading one thing for another. Nothing would ever get done. The thought that the only reason people work is to get paid is simply not true. To our detriment, our society has closely tied the concept of work to money. Of all that human beings accomplish in the world, the majority of it is done either out of necessity or for a sense of purpose, not for money. How would we buy stuff and pay bills? We wouldn't. There are a number of methods of distributing goods and services to meet the needs and wants of people. Money in markets is only one of them. Eliminating money means eliminating debt and therefore bills. In the world that I believe can be developed, no one owes anyone anything, ever. The world would be plunged into chaos. We would revert back to the Stone Age. I think this is rooted in the notion that trading one thing for another is better than clubbing someone over the head and taking what he has. That money keeps us under control and should somehow be credited for civilization. While I certainly won't argue that money is a major controlling factor in our lives, I will argue that it is the keeper of law and order. If anything, money is an instigator of crime. However, the system I envision moves us forward, not backward, to a stage of human development in which kindness, cooperation, and sharing are the norm, and neither clubbing nor money is necessary. I will agree, though, with one aspect of this thought. If the world transitioned from the current monetary system to the elimination of money in a week, a month, or a year, it would surely result in chaos. If the change that I have in mind takes place at all, it will take years, decades, even generations to be fully implemented. This is a mammoth restructuring of a fundamental way in which we interact. It's not going to happen overnight. People are too mean. Similar to number 4 above, this response seems to be based on the belief that, given the option to act with kindness or malice, most people will choose the latter. The implication is that money is somehow a regulator of meanness, and absent the money, that meanness would be unleashed. As a Christian, I believe that every person is born into the world with a sinful nature. However, throughout my life, I have observed a great many random acts of kindness among human beings. While greed and lust for power are clearly a part of our nature, those characteristics can be suppressed in a favorable environment. It would never work. This is probably based on fear of the unknown. A moneyless world is certainly an unknown world, and it's pretty normal for people to be afraid of something that is unfamiliar. So to simply dismiss it as impossible avoids any discussion or exploration of the idea, thereby eliminating fears of what might occur in such a situation. I'll examine each of these reactions in greater detail in later rants. I touch on them here briefly because, if you're like most people, you're already thinking one or more of them anyway. In the meantime, keep in mind that it is not possible to know whether or not this system, or some variation of it, would or would not be successful. What I'm suggesting has never been done before, except perhaps in small tribal communities. It's good to speculate and to use caution, But the only way to know for sure is to put it into practice. Furthermore, it must be implemented as a permanence. If it is instituted on a trial basis for a predetermined amount of time, 1 year, 5 years, etc., people will likely take advantage of the system, knowing that it is only temporary relief from their workaday lives. They will ride the gravy train while they can. As a result, the experiment will appear to have failed when, in truth, it wasn't a fair experiment from the beginning.